when you need an attorney in Nebraska or Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Are you looking for something different for lunch or dinner in Lincoln? Big 8 is now open at 1226 P Street, serving seafood boils and Asian cuisine. Get your hands messy with fresh, flavorful seafood boils, hot, bold, and made to share. Or enjoy classic Chinese and Asian dishes, perfect for lunch, dinner, or a night out with friends and family. Big flavors, generous portions, and a brand new dining experience. Big 8, now open in Lincoln. Have you been looking for home technology upgrades but don't know where to turn? Online information can be contradicting and confusing. Lincoln's own experts at Diode Technologies can turn your living room into the place to watch your favorite sports. Whatever your vision is, Diode Tech is ready to make it a reality. From home theaters to outdoor entertainment spaces, they bring you along through the entire process to make sure you get exactly what you want. If you're ready to upgrade your entertainment space, visit Diode Tech online at diodetech.net or give them a call at 402-793-5124.
Bundle up, bring your crew, and make this winter one for the books with Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st at Beer House. Enjoy winter brews that will tangle with your taste buds, polka dancing, games like Hammerschlagen and Stein Stamina, and more. Bach beer will be flowing and sausages and pretzels will be available for purchase. Doors open at 11 a.m. and the party goes outside until 6 p.m. before moving inside. VIP tickets are $75, but just $10 gets you in the door. Buy your tickets today at beerhousene.com for Bachfest on Saturday, February 21st.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
If you're a farmer, you need to hear this game-changing news about crop insurance. It's now possible to protect up to 95% of your farm's revenue, not at the county level, but down to your individual fields. At Trados, we help farms design protection that works with their marketing plan, not in isolation. The key isn't buying another product. It's understanding how coverage, grain marketing, and your operation work together. As hail and wind rates continue to increase, now's the time to ask better questions. Call us today or visit gotrados.com to start protecting 95%. That's GOTREDAS.com. Trados, ingrained in your success.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, where your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome in. Don't Punt Hour. Harrison runs on 1-2s. We got DeMornay Pierson-El in, and perfect timing. We're going to talk a lot of Husker football. On the negative side of things, Nebraska women's basketball, tough loss. That makes it 6 straight. Went from probably feeling pretty confident to making the tournament, and now maybe the NIT, unless they don't try to rattle off some wins here. I think there's only a couple games left. Let me see here.
It's like 5, I think.
Two more for women after this Oregon loss. So it might be NIT. We'll see how that works out. But final score in this one was 76-80. Huskers were in control. and at one point led, and then it was a 14-28 point differential in the fourth quarter, which kind of slipped away there. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. If you guys do want to listen to that, we got our guy Nick Wyman in the other podcast studio, and he's just on YouTube streaming. So if you want to get a Nebraska women's basketball breakdown, our guy Nick Wyman has got you hooked up. Same account. Just go to 93.7 Ticket on YouTube. It is out there. But we're going to start on some football. First of all, how crappy is the weather out there for you? Good morning, Pierson-El, because it sucks here, and I'm kind of anxious about getting home. I'm not going to lie.
I'm over the snow. It started off pretty heavy. I think it's slowing down a little bit. It's not as bad as it was. But I mean, they're moving some stuff. But yeah, it's pretty thick out there.
Yeah, I haven't seen the plows yet, and I'm not telling these guys how to do their job, but I'd like to see one before I start driving away, because I think it's stopped. I think we can get the ball rolling here. I don't know, man. I'm just not looking forward to it. Mother Nature, it's not just us, but I'll tell you what. Nebraska wrestling, like Nebraska wrestling, like high school, they get screwed over every single year. I swear it always happens where we get a massive snowstorm every single time those guys are ready to go, travel to Lincoln for all this. So, unfortunately for the wrestlers, feel bad for you guys because it seems to be like just a guarantee. It's almost a running joke within that community at this point. But with that being said, we'll get off the weather. But that is our meteorologist report. That's what it looks like in Lincoln. Now, you can't really see it too well on that.
No, it did. The grounds look terrible.
Yeah, you can't tell what's the sidewalk and what's the street there. There we go. Just disaster. All right, let's talk some football. Were you able to listen to the press conference? You had Orridge, you had Matt Rule, and then you had Holgerson. You had the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, and, of course, head coach Matt Rule.
I seen some of Rules and some of Holgerson's. I didn't catch the whole thing.
Perfect. We got the audio, so we can fill in along the way here. I'm going to play the same ones I did the last hour because we had Raph and we kind of went down some of the same rabbit holes. We do have, I'll ask you, Rule, Holgerson, Orridge. Where do you want to
start? Defense.
All right. He, in my mind, had the most hope, but the new guy usually is everyone's favorite. But he sounded good. He at least has an idea on what he wants to do. And I'll play this one right here because you'd understand it more than your average fan. But here's Orridge on what type of defense that he's trying to put out there.
Yeah, so we're a split safety defense, majoring in quarters and cover 7 or bracket variations. There's a lot of Saban principles in the defense. There's a lot of Mike McDonald and some of the Jesse Minter, some of their influences on the defense. And ultimately, it's you'll see us in split field defense most of the time, and then getting to a bunch of different coverage variations of it. We'll be in 4-2-5 personnel with the rush stood up into the boundary, the weak side DN. We like to think that we're really multiple post-snap, but pretty simple pre-snap.
All right, what are your thoughts on that? He gives a pretty good breakdown on what he wants to do.
I mean, that sounds good. I mean, he lists some names and whatnot. I mean, split safety. I mean, a lot of shell coverage and everything like that. A bend don't break type of defense. Cover 4. You said variations of 7. You said 4-2. So I mean, I hope you can. Again, your front line has to do its job. I mean, post snaps, and yeah, he said there's variations of things that they can do and everything or will want to do. We'll see. I mean, but they're pretty much going to be, right and left safety.
Yep.
And that's pretty, that's not going to change. It's not terrible. I mean, you can do some stuff with it and everything like that, but it just depends on the personnel that you have out there. But, I mean, he laid it out clearly. He said some good stuff. It just sees how I know he brought, some guys with him and everything like that kind of know the system, especially in the back end. So I'm expecting, I think, is it Dwayne? I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'm expecting him to kind of be the leader of the back end to get stuff, or kind of that safety, kind of how like the Eagles, Emmanuel's, that like, kind of like him, the safety in the box, kind of that can play free safety, nickel, linebacker type. If he's the one that's going to be communicating, I'm pretty sure he'll probably be that guy that might drop into the box late here and there, or play robber.
Is the build for those guys kind of like Isaac Gifford? or no?
Or
do you want a little bit more?
You would like a Kyle Hamilton type of bid.
Okay.
I would say Isaac's not bad. He has a high motor. He did what he was good at. It shined, and the things that I wouldn't say necessarily a strong suit, or maybe things that might have been a bit of a problem or issue with him. I mean, we're also on tape. But I mean, if you get a player like Isaac, that wouldn't be bad. That would be beneficial. I mean, he had a high motor, high tackles. So it's not bad.
Yeah, he was just because he was able to come downhill a lot when needed to, and he can play pretty physical. But I'm just asking you this stuff because you played on the field. I'm trying to match up the personnel, because to your point, if you don't have the personnel, you can run the Willy Wonka defense for all week here.
Pretty much like you need a. I would say if they could get a person and two type of guys that can mix and match a personality, somebody like a Derwin James mixed with a Jamal Adams.
Okay.
So that is kind of what you need, and I'm not saying big, physical, and everything like that, but they were really good at blitzing. They were really good at diagnosing and running through tackles on the run. I mean, if you're playing 4-down linemen and everything like that, you're going to try and contain the edge and let everybody else fill the gap pretty much. Kind of play everything in front of you, see it, go get ball type situation. I know he's big on, let the dogs hunt type of mentality.
Okay, let's get a little bit more then on his personnel. And here's him. I think everyone shared these thoughts, wanting his linebackers to get bigger. Here's Ulrich.
We want to be bigger. You look at Dexter Foster and you look at Owen Chambliss specifically. They're both 6'3", 235-pound backers that can run. And you look at them basically paired with Shavers. There's a really dynamic group there. And when we were identifying how we wanted to, toughen up, I don't know if toughen up's the right word, but wanted to improve that room, we felt like we needed to be bigger to compete against the big boys of the conference.
Your thoughts?
Well, that's not what you want to hear.
What?
I mean, he's saying they're too small, and he said, it's not terrible, but I mean, you can't change some of those things. You can't change, being taller. I mean, yeah, you can get bigger, wide, and everything like that, but that takes away from a guy being dynamic. So that's really that doesn't make me feel too well. I'm assuming what he means and everything like that. He wants more guys kind of like how Bullock was. Maybe not size and stature and everything like that, but physical enough, stop to run and run through stuff like that. That's, I think, of more kind of what I feel like he was trying to go towards, just saying they were kind of too small. They're going to be off the ball filling. I'm not exactly what Tampa Bay does with the 5-2, but our linebackers are going to have to make a lot of plays, like, our linebackers are going to have to tackle, or our defensive line is going to have to shut things down necessarily before it gets past them. That's what he's aiming for. Hopefully, you don't want your safeties to have high tackles. If your safeties have high tackles, then they're in a bit of too much action. But I wouldn't really say that. I get what he's getting at.
I think he didn't probably mean to phrase it completely how he did there either. Maybe he did, but
you got to be better at You got to be better at of saying things, especially with the place like Nebraska. They're going to pick apart everything. So,
well, hey, it's what time is it? It's 10:16, and you and me are picking apart his comments still. I know they played it 100 times.
I don't think he said what he wanted to say the best way, and I'll leave it at that. I don't think he meant any bad intentions or anything like that. Obviously, he sees something clear from size wise, or just physicality, or potentially he wants guys to be a little bit more to take on the runs and be the hammer, not necessarily the nail. Not to say that's not what was going on, but he has a vision and he's just going off of that.
Yeah, some of these things are true. Like, obviously, you could say Nebraska just maybe needs to get bigger. They were younger last year, so some of that was just
Exactly. He could have said, I mean, more experienced players. Like I said, you said you have dynamic and athletic guys, which that can be good. You just have to shape them and mold them how you need to.
yeah. And I'm not going to make too much out of that. Kind of everything you just said. Like we'll wait and see what it looks like. Here's a little bit more of him though. Again, just kind of breaking down his defense. How can your defense help pass rushers get going? Here is Ulrich, new defensive coordinator for Nebraska, on trying to get his pass rushers going and what that look like in this defense.
We're going to find ways to dictate protection, determine the turn of the center, and create some matchups, whether that's getting to 5-0 or 5-0 protection or going 6-up to dictate the turn and isolate the running back. But really what your question asking, how do we generate productivity from that position? And I think you look at Coach Manning and what he did with our edges last year at San Diego State. I think there was 23 sacks in that room. And you look at his ability to develop a pass rusher and for them to really get comfortable on that arc of the pass rush when they're at the set point, the top of the rush, that they're really comfortable being productive there. And, I've been really impressed with his work from the past year. So I think it's a combination of we have to create the matchups we're looking for, but we also have to get these guys really comfortable being productive at those playmaking points.
So, yeah, because he's a little bit more, but again, he's really breaking down
experience. It all comes back down to experience. I mean, everything he said is that getting guys comfortable and understanding that it's kind of like that situation where, first year of Tony White's defense, how they were in the right position and everything like that. They were doing the job, but it just, was a little bit more meat left on the bone. And that year 2 is when you've seen, a lot more takeaways, a lot more playmaking and everything like that once they kind of got comfortable and everything like that. Well, you have a group that is a bit younger being thrown into another new scheme and system that they have to learn and everything like that. And it might take some time for, guys to step up to the plate.
Yeah, not even.
I think you want your defensive line to be disruptive. You want it starts with that, with just, blocking up, gap schemes, causing havoc on the back end and everything like that, having a matchup. So if you got 2 wide receivers, 2 over 3, or if you got, 3 wide receivers to one side, kind of a four guys for 3 players to the offense. So you take away, certain things and whatnot. They're going to be big on matchups and everything like that, which isn't bad and whatnot. You just have to scheme things up differently.
Well, I think we especially saw it, right? You go from Tony White to John Butler. Like, it wasn't the 3-3-5. It was, who do we have in it? Clearly, there was really a lot of success, and Tony White gets a gig over at
Florida
State, thank you. And he brings some of his guys with him. Some of the guys didn't perform as well as they maybe wanted to, but he had a ton of success here. And why? Because the players could do it. I mean, obviously, when you got Nash, you got the Polar Bear, and you got Tyra. Like, you're going to be doing some damage when you have that front on defense that, other guys, even if they're not as good as what their numbers indicate, their numbers maybe inflate because they're really good somewhere else. It's the same thing with Ndamukong Suh and Jared Crick. Jared Crick, by all means, phenomenal player himself. But when him and Suh were playing together, Crick's numbers were like double what he had. And that's good. That's what you do. You feed off of good players. That's how defense feeds off each other. But it's all going to depend on how much better we get in development. And that's the part that always scares me is I don't know what the development looks like. We'll have to see if some of the guys hopefully got bigger, stronger, a little bit quicker. Obviously, you got some of the new transfer guys. Can they fit into the system? How big of a jump does it make? But I don't think we really know anything with what he's saying. Everything he's saying sounds fine. We don't know.
It's not bad. He hasn't said anything about players or whatnot. He's just, being vocal about what he wants to do and what he wants to dictate and everything like that, which is fine and dandy. But you're also coming into a university for the past 3 years. You're the third coach. You're the third defensive line coach. So, I mean, and these guys are a lot younger. Last year it was more of a younger guy, so they might have had one coach coming in or whatnot. But you're gonna have to get them confident. You're gonna have to get them, I don't want to say skill, but you're gonna have to get their motors running and have them having a stronger ability of believing in themselves and understanding what it is, whether it's as simple if it's simpler than what it was or what they were doing, or they like it a little bit more. So I mean, that's what spring ball is going to be about for him in the defensive side, of just kind of figuring out his players and his players figuring out kind of what he wants to do.
Well, let's go a little bit more on Origin, and I think we probably move on to the next coach. Origin here again. You talked about coordinator 1, 2, 3 for 3 in 3 years. They asked him how has he processed the enormity of the current role he's been putting in right now, being the third new defensive coordinator in 3 years.
Yeah, really try to keep the main thing. I'm here all day. Nobody treats me that well here, so everybody treats me like Rob. So I'm with the staff, and I'm at home with my daughters and my son and my wife, and they don't treat me that well either. So it's I don't know if the enormity of the rule has been there. It's been a humbling experience, but we're excited to get to work, and we love the challenge. And one thing I'll say to your previous question about the different stops along the way is football's football. Football is football. And we believe in our process. We believe in what really good defenses look like from the way we execute. And we're going to try to live and drive our team to that standard.
He's got some jokes. They're good jokes too. Made me chuckle myself.
That's a witty remark. We have to see honestly how he mashes up with Rule, because that's what it's going to come down to. Like, he has a plan, he has an idea. Of course, he's done things well and everything like that, but clearly the last few years, for whatever reason, that side of the ball necessarily hasn't seen eye to eye with the headmen, which is why they're not there. So hopefully he can adjust to that. I think that's going to be a huge problem, or not a huge problem. I think that's going to be a huge situation to monitor throughout the season as well.
Well, you better be kind of in lockstep with him. I mean, if you're Matt Rule, and again, I'm not trying to slam him because I don't know. I'd assume he knows what Orridge wants to do when he had conversations with him. I damn hope so before hiring him, because I mean, we can't go 4 defensive coordinators in 4 years. You better know what you have with the next guy.
I don't think it's much as that. I think it's more so of a bit of, I don't want to say micromanaging, but management.
Yeah. I mean, learn your lesson then, if that's what it is, which maybe it is.
You brought a guy that was played at who has experience. He's been in successful places and everything like that. It's an adjustment to go from pros to the collegiate level. You necessarily didn't take your time necessarily with that, regardless of how long he's been, here in that situation and everything like that, or whatever it was, you didn't see eye to eye with it. The guy before him, who was calling things how he wanted, and for whatever reason, some friction came and one thing led to another. He's gone. So with this guy coming in, who he clearly knows what his identity is. He clearly knows what he would like to do and everything like that. The common denominator is the other side and management maybe be doing a bit too much at times and not letting people flourish and be them exactly. Now, that's just my opinion. I'm not saying 100%, but we know you've had good coaches that, you get paid well at Nebraska. Nebraska has a good place and everything like that. In the last 3 years, we've had 2 really, really good coaches, or, half of a staff be gone because of management. And so I think that's going to be a big piece that, again, will have to be assessed and looked at, to where maybe, management doesn't have to be so on top of. And I know that's kind of probably hard at a place like Nebraska, because every little thing's under a microscope and he has to answer for that. But I mean, that's what you sign up for, and that's what the job is.
Sorry, I was saying to your point, even Pillen's hopping into the conversation at times with the Scott Frost thing. It's I don't know when it ever stops. And that's why the older I get, the little more lighter I try to get on some of these coaches, because I'm starting to realize, man, I don't even know how much control they have over their own damn program, because you don't go through this many bad coaches in a row without some of the upper management also maybe struggling at the job that they do, which is finding talent that can go lead your programs. And they've kind of hitting the floor on that over and over and over again. Hopefully Matt Rule is the right guy, but Again, I don't know how much say that he fully gets. We do got some quotes for him as well. He talks about the portal, how much money we had. He gets some interesting statements in there about what an average college team or what an elite college football team cost for 1 year, what the roster would cost. Before we go to break, you got to guess the morning Pierson-El? Let's just say the top.
The last year was $20 million, so I'm assuming it's over that.
It's over that.
Okay, so probably I say
let's just think about
30 to 35 million.
All right. I'll let you think about it a little longer because you're still off. We'll talk about that next. On the other side, Don't Punt Hour with the morning Pierson-El. Harrison Arns, talk to you in a bit.
Tomorrow is about the lessons we learn today. A farmer's market teaches us that community is grown together. Kids laughing shows us how joy is easy. And coffee on the porch reminds us to savor every moment. These are the lessons that shape a tomorrow we all share. One filled with trust, good company, and wide open dreams. That's the way banking should be. And that's Pinnacle Bank. Member FDIC.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
With so much financial uncertainty, are you wondering if retirement savings will last? Market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. Hi, I'm Edward Jones, advisor at Ryan Bach. If you have more questions than answers about what's next, let's work together to help you ensure you're prepared for the journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek. It's a new beginning. Stop by our office at 8380 Old Cheney Road, Lincoln, Nebraska. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra premium protein ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
It's basketball season, and Salt Mine City is your pregame and postgame headquarters in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Get ready for the game with their big, fatty 7-ounce hamburger or try a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, your basketball headquarters, now open at 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
At DWE Generations, having a plan matters, especially when it comes to protecting what's most important. They work with individuals, families, and business owners to help make smart financial decisions that support life today and set the foundation for generations. David Darlington, Russell Walton, and Cody Eiler bring decades of experience, and their dedicated team provides follow-through. answering questions, explaining next steps, and staying connected as life evolves. DWE Generations, a generational wealth planning firm. DWE Generations is a marketing name for individuals doing business as representatives of Northwestern Mutual. Visit generations.nm.com or call 402-483-7871 and ask for David, Russell, or Cody. Looking to get a room downtown or near South Lincoln? Abe Lincoln would tell you no to the Ford Theater and yes to Lincoln Hotel. Save up to 40% off downtown Lincoln prices with a nice clean room and comfortable stay. Lincoln Hotel is locally owned and offers a day pass to the city's largest locally owned gym, Good Life Fitness. Long-term stays are available. You can learn more about pricing and book your Lincoln Hotel stay today at staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565. That's staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
Welcome in, Don't Punt Hour. There's an honors of the ones and twos as always. Got 30 more minutes to go before I make my trek across the winter wonderlands. That is the state of Nebraska right now. We talked a little bit about the press conferences. Obviously, you had offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and head coach Matt Rule all speak at the podium today as spring practice is ready to roll here. But you asked before, well, I asked you before, how much you think the average, or not the average, an elite spending school, when we're talking about the best of best NAL classes, cost per year. Boys Velasquez, you said $30 million?
Yeah, 35.
Let's go up a little bit more.
40
to 50 million. Here's Matt Rule talking about it. He spoke on, again, his portal.
Where are these numbers from? Like, who's reporting this?
Matt Rule. Here it is.
I think we have had more than we ever have, but as we've ascended, other people have certainly ascended, right? And so, sometimes people ask me, why didn't we do this? Why didn't we do that? And there's a finite amount of dollars that are available. So my job's not to complain; it's to figure it out with whatever we have. But there are $40 and $50 million rosters in 2026 in college football, and so we are grateful. Troy's worked really hard. Troy Dannon's worked really hard to get us in a position where we're hopefully within striking distance of some of those other teams, and we have had more than we've had previously. So that's kind of where we're at. But there is no limit maybe on what some people are doing.
That's insane.
I mean, what teams?
I'm assuming, like, pick your Texas A&M, pick your Ohio State, pick your.
I mean, because last year it was reported that Ohio State, or the year that they won a national championship, they were a $20 million team.
Yeah.
So, okay, I wonder what Indiana is. Because when you're winning, and this is no shot to him, this is no shot to anything like that. When you're winning and everything like that, kids want to go to where you're at. Like, yeah, the money. Don't get me wrong, the money matters and everything like that. But I mean, I don't know how much they were paying Mendoza to get him to go there. He doesn't seem like he was banking on a lot. Some of the other players from that Indiana team and everything like that, I don't know necessarily like what their numbers were to do that and whatnot. So I mean, it's different when you're kind of at the top. And success has been, really, really good to you, or you're in a bracket then most teams aren't. You're in the elite bracket of teams and whatnot. So, I mean, I'm not saying he's wrong with that, but I mean, what teams are when people say, oh, there are teams like that? Well, what team is that when everybody has to, revenue share or, let kind of know what's been going on?
I mean, I don't know how much
I can assume. Of course, we can assume. Okay, maybe Oregon, maybe Alabama, OU, LSU, Ole Miss. Like, I mean, of course, you mean that they're potentially of that, but even still, with those teams or whatnot, again, elite or they have been winning, so that's not necessarily an issue. And I'm not saying he can or anything like that, but you get 9+ games and everything like that. I think that part of the NIL becomes easy because kids want to come here because they know They're playing for other things. 2, you have more people that want to open up their purse to give out stuff and everything like that. So I'm not saying he's wrong with anything like that, but I don't know for sure like what teams that he speaks of.
Okay, so let's just take a look at Indiana, right? Because I'm going to assume that Indiana isn't out there swinging tons of cash around.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, of course, I think there are probably some players, yeah, but you got kids that want to transfer there, so
I wouldn't think they're anywhere near the 40 to 50 mil, right?
No.
Yeah, so I think we're on the same page there, and this is where I think there's going to be the knucklehead like Texas A&M who. Yeehaw! Every year, let's just overspend and not win it. I mean, they're going to keep doing it because they have the money and they think it'll work eventually. But then you have teams like Indiana, who I don't think that they probably paid anywhere near that amount, but they definitely upped it, right? Because it's not like Indiana basketball's getting the same checks that they used to. It's football focused and it makes sense, but I still think it's significantly less. And just because they won, to your point, DeMornay, they got a 4-star from Michigan State, another 4-star from TCU, 4-star from Kansas State, 4-star from Penn State, and another 4-star. Okay, they didn't get any 5 stars, but they got a lot of high 3 stars and a lot of good 4 stars. So that's just because they won. 17 transfers they got, and they're all good talent. You're not going to see a guy that looks like you're really unsure. They at least all can play. Maybe you got some stars in there, and maybe you just got some good players. But that's what winning can do. You don't necessarily have all the money out there. So,
and I wonder how much of those, like, of course, probably, I mean, 17 guys, probably all of them, getting a pretty nice little penny. I'm not saying I don't know what it is or whatnot, but I mean, I would be shocked if 3 guys are getting over $1.5 million.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So again, I mean, you places like that. Of Ohio State, a little bit different. Like it is what it is. Like you're gonna have to pay your players for them to stay there, or else they're gone. That's just what it is with them. So of course they get outspend it. But Michigan, maybe outside of the quarterback and everything like that, you don't really hear it. And I mean, and they're 8 to 9 wins a year. PJ Fleck. I mean, he's tiptoeing in that border and whatnot. SMU. So I mean, there are places out there that I'm not saying that don't, of course, but I mean, if you're competing with those guys and those guys necessarily aren't really moving the needle, then maybe we might need to go back to the drawing board and kind of reevaluate the things that we're doing. And not to say that he's up there trying to compete with them, but go back to maybe finding the perfect fit guys, because I mean Cignetti is that scheme seems very similar to what Bo was doing. Bo was getting the right guys to fit his system to come in there and to contribute, and year in and year out they were contributing more times than not.
Stop bringing up Bo. It pisses me off every time we bring up Bo Pelini. Because
I'm just saying I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying on hitting on guys that work for
us,
your university. I mean, you might not need the big athletic guy and everything like that. Go get you a Levante David out of JUCO that can run, rip and race. Go get you a Will Compton out of Missouri.
Well, look what we do with John Butler.
That played 9-10 years in the league, regardless of drafted or undrafted or not. Guys that hit.
Well, like you have to also, yes, represent the culture, but this is also the problem for Nebraska. What is the culture? You're on to 3 different defensive coordinators in 3 years. Your offensive coordinators changed a handful of times. Obviously, not just this, but previous staffs. It's hard to recruit, and there is that problem right there. But, even when you do get guys in there, like John Butler, I don't know if you wanted to run the defense or if he just kind of had to keep running the 3-3-5. I don't know. I don't know if you've got full
back to management.
Exactly. And same thing with special teams, because what was happening there? It seems like he wasn't getting his way. Otherwise, I don't know why Eckler would leave. But whatever. Well,
you make him the highest paid thing, but yet money isn't getting the situation. And this is just my assumption. Maybe other things aren't being heard, or he's not willing to conform to certain demands or certain things that he should. He was maybe being pulled in a way to where I'm good.
Or maybe he just likes the beach, and he said, "You know what? The beach does sound nice." because winters suck here in Nebraska.
But taxes in California does not. So I don't know.
Would you take winter or California taxes?
Winter.
Damn, that bad, huh? I've never lived there, obviously, myself, so I couldn't tell you that.
When you're in the highest tax bracket, they're taking 48%.
Yeah, good.
No way. I'm telling 48.
48%?
Yes. California, New York, Boston, Philly, because you pay you get taxed twice for the city and the state. Hate it.
You know what? I did not know it was that high. Why would you ever want to play in those
48%?
Give me any.
And then you throw on your living expenses on top of that? No, thank you. No.
Man, I'm surprised players ever want to go play it like for the Lakers.
Just go and look up how much Sam Darnold was taxed for just playing in San Francisco for the Super Bowl.
I did see this, and this is a good thing.
It's bad.
I want to talk about that because we can talk about that in last segment because they like double dipped on him just for playing in the Super Bowl, just for existing there. Even if he didn't do anything, but just for existing in California because he's at the Super Bowl, and then the other few times, but also he has to play there because the way his schedule worked out and the team he's on in the conference. Talk about getting ripped off. We'll talk about that next. Sam Darnold's tax situation because I forgot about that.
But that's all again. So like I said, that's all NFL players. Like, well, I won't say all because different states, but not. But California, no, terrible, no.
Well, I can't remember what it was exactly, but somehow, like just for being there, traveling, like he was getting hit by
certain days, yeah.
Following the 2026 Super Bowl in California, Seattle Seahawks quarterback
it's a working day.
Arnold was expected to owe approximately $250,000 in California state income tax, often referred to as jock tax, due to his high earning contract and duty days spent in the state, despite earning a $178,000 winner's bonus. This tax obligation resulted in a net loss for the game. He lost the money playing in the Super Bowl. Now, with the sponsorships and everything else, he obviously made his money back, so I'm sure he got a bump in his contract. But just by him winning the NFL bonus for it, and then, of course, the loss that California knocked him, just for those few days he spent there for the Super Bowl. Well said. That is crazy. Sometimes, now that you mentioned that, like the 48%, yeah, that adds up about right because that's about a little over 48%.
I'm like I said, that's not even like I said. That's not even putting in living expenses. He gonna live somewhere nice.
Yeah,
that's taxes, insurance. Not like no that. Give me the winner. Thank you.
The jock tax. It's a real thing. You learn more every day. All right. Don't go anywhere. We'll finish up with some more Husker football right here. 93.7 The Ticket. Don't Punt Hour. Good morning, Pierson-El, Harrison Arns. Talk to you in a bit.
Are you looking for a fresh new hangout spot? Let me tell you about Liquid Assets Sports Bar, where Mondays mean new weekly drink and food features. With 23 taps, a full lineup of cans and bottles, and 40 TVs blasting every sports package out there, you'll never worry about missing a play. Savor high-end spirits at their stylish top-shelf bar, enjoy a healthy menu, family-friendly atmosphere, and catch all of your favorite teams every day. Doors open daily at 11 a.m. Liquid Assets Sports Bar, located at 2755 Jamie Lane in South Lincoln. Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Yeah, boy, it's Flavor Flav, and I'm bringing the hype to the U.S. bobsled and skeleton team with Raising Cane's. You gotta stay warm with their crispy hand-battered chicken fingers and cane sauce. Now that's moved as fast. And show your support for my favorite winter sport with a limited edition bobsled plush puppy. While supplies last. I think I'm gonna keep this one.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Stop into Zollner Ford Beatrice and check out a brand new 2026 Ford Explorer for only $39,995. That's right, under $40,000 for a brand new Explorer, loaded with extras like Copilot 360, second row captain's chairs, and more. With approved credit, receive financing as low as 2.9%. Treat mom to a new Explorer for Valentine's Day this year from Zollner Ford Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect. MSRP $45,175.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street, online at doubleeagle.golf.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
I'm Alfred Nobel, the inventor of dynamite. So the Nebraska Lottery has asked me to talk about the Cash Blast promotion. Until March 24th, buy a 2x2 ticket and get a voucher. Enter online for a chance to win a $5,000 or $500 weekly prize. If you're winning vouchers from a 7-day draw ticket, your prize is doubled. So when can I explode the dynamite?
No dynamite in the studio, Dr. Nobel.
How about a cherry bomb?
No.
Sparkler?
Sorry.
2x2 top prize odds are 1 in 105,000.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, wrapping things up here. Good morning, Pierson-El, Harrison Arns. Don't Punt Hour. As always, 10 to 11 p.m. We got Nick Wyman up next. He'll keep you guys going till midnight. So if you're driving and you're scared, you can listen to Nick Wyman talk about sports. Maybe let you get your mind off the slippery roads. Although hopefully, I don't think they look too slick out there. Good morning, Pierson-El. we've heard a little bit of the press conference today. Maybe have to dive more back into it tomorrow. Well, actually be next week. But if I just had to ask you right now, give me two things that make you optimistic about the season. And I'm going to say two things that are not pessimistic, but give you cause for concern.
Change holistically on both sides of the ball. Like I think there's been a lot. I mean, each from year to year, each roster changes. But not only did the roster change and everything like that, the coaches changed. And I think that could be concerning. But it could go either way. It could be concerning and go good. It can be concerning and end up bad. But I think that's one thing that has happened, because I mean, you have guys in positions to pick coaches and put them around these guys, and I mean, or a little bit over a year, you're trusting somebody else. So that's a bit concerning. The second part, the quarterback situation. I mean, you brought in some guys, you have a guy there and everything like that. We've heard what Dana said, talking about, keeping Latif here and the guys that he's recruited.
Well, quickly to cut you off to add to what you're saying, just so you get the full context, because we didn't have time for it, but didn't really talk about TJ Latif at all. They talked about Anthony Colandrea, and they pretty much said it without saying it. Like, it's his job. They really made it sound like competition's not even in the works.
So I mean, with that, is that just because he's the best guy, or is that just because y'all are paying him?
I'm gonna guess the latter, but I'm not entirely sure.
So that part is the other part that it is of concern. And I mean, it's still early. Like, yeah, you can have a plan and everything like that, but I mean, if the two guys is out playing the guy that you picked and everything like that, make the right decision, regardless of how people are going to be mad or upset or whatever. Do what's best necessarily for the team. Clearly, that has been an issue for a while. Just people not making the better decision it may fluffle some feathers or ruffle some feathers or whatnot, but make the right decision to put the best people around and in the position to win and be successful at the University of Nebraska. Period.
Amen. You are going to fluffle those feathers, or whatever you said there.
I mean, you getting paid. I mean, you getting paid to do that. You getting paid to make those decisions, and coaches.
You get paid a lot to make those decisions.
Coaches, administration, position coaches, people up the ladder. Like, y'all are in those positions because you've seen things before. You understand how stuff is, and you're supposed to be equipped with the tools, knowledge, and wisdom to do things. And not to say that they haven't. I mean, it's gotten better from where it was. So I'm not really harsh on stuff. And yes, of course, people want playoff. People want playoff picture. People want playing for the Big Ten championship and everything like that. Which I do think that is still available and on the board and everything like that. But the hard decisions has to be made. And whether you paying a guy more money or whatnot, but he's not the best person to put the team, in the right position to come out of it, who cares about the money? Like, you can deal with that on the back end. Make the right decision, put the people that are supposed to be in the right position to help us win.
Amen.
If you don't do it, people hate you. You do it and it works, you're a genius.
Do you have any eligibility left? Could you go to the court, make an appeal?
I wish.
Hey,
I think because I've played at the pro level, that's done. I think now if they got flag football, I might come back for that.
I don't know if they're going to pay you.
I'll go be a student again. It's an Olympic sport. I would definitely add an Olympic gold medal to my closet. I think that would be something to entertaining.
Yeah, it would be. I'd watch. I think we'd all watch, but no. I'll kid Jones. It was actually a real possibility for you until the Alabama player, he made it, and then he's kicked out. He can't finish the season. Technically, he went pro with the G League. Or no, they do have that Bailey out of UCLA. He legit played in the NBA, and I think it's still in the year. And if he's allowed back to college basketball, good morning.
Listen, anybody that would play on the NFL level and come back, or NBA level and come back to collegiate, the speed is different. The game is different. Like it would not be fair at all. That the college kids would be at a disadvantage. I don't care if you were there for a month. I don't care if you were there for 2 weeks. It's going to be a disadvantage.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's an obvious disadvantage. Once you declare, you're done.
See you.
All right. With that being said, we're going to also declare that we're done with the show for this week, but we'll be back next week, Monday through Thursday. Appreciate it as always. Good morning, Pierson-El. We got Nick Wyman up next, Late Night in Lincoln.